I am recording now.
All systems green on this end.
Same here. Gray, whenever you're ready, just kick us off.
Okay, Jets. In 3, 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second edition of the SHP AMA. Today we have some very exciting developments we're going to be covering. For the first time in a couple weeks, we have an official announcement from the Earth 2 development team, and it seems to cover a lot of very interesting stuff. So, welcome back, guys. I'm really glad to be here with y'all, and let's get into it.
Heck yeah.
So,
Go.
first off, so we follow the chain. The path that the announcement is taking, so that when people back home are gonna be reading through it, trying to understand what's going on, they can follow along with the documents. So first off, Essence and EPLs. The announcement itself says Essence and EPLs were scheduled to roll out a few weeks ago. Our design, development, and QA teams invested a significant amount of time and effort to ensure the features were ready to roll out, but at the 11th hour, a massive opportunity was brought to our attention, and ultimately there was a decision to delay the rollout. Now, we all commented about this way back when. We weren't very happy to see such a delay. I know a bunch of people were feeling scared about it, but it looks like today it was worth the wait, because we've been hearing some pretty interesting rumors about this. First off, what have y'all been hearing about this from the community?
I just honestly hear a lot of talk about the not just the essence, but the resources specifically. Everyone's trying to figure out what they're going to be used for, how we're going to obtain them, and uh, honestly, what the talk is about that fresh water resource. And no one knows anything about it. No one knows what it's going to be used for. Like, we could speculate, but that's about it right now.
To be fair, I have been listening or reading quite a lot on Facebook, all the posts that have been put up speculating on what the fresh water would be used for. And I think, well, the best one I've heard so far is concrete. You're going to need fresh water to make concrete to build, aren't we? So that's an opportunity or a possibility, I suppose.
Yeah, I was thinking about food as well.
Yeah, to grow crops, to grow trees. In order to get wood, you need fresh water. So,
Yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah, it did also say, I'm reading down through it again now to try and find it, but something along the lines of you'll be able to collect resources for the first month or so, which sort of leads you to believe that you're going to have to grow them, and it's going to take a while for them to actually produce essence or produce the resources. So it's not going to just be an instantaneous thing every day where we collect resources every day. I don't know whether I'm reading that right or.
I just
Well, I
wanted.
guess that's sort of. Sorry, what's up?
Oh, I just wanted to give a quick shout out because I don't know if you guys have seen it, but one of our members is now the #1 player on the leaderboard.
Oh, I haven't seen
Wait,
it.
for real? I haven't checked the leaderboards in a long time.
Miser has beaten Willie Malik and
see him,
Predict.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, man.
Yeah, right
Well
on.
done.
And you know what's awesome about that is he has only put $130 into the game.
What?
Yo, that's early power. That's early power. That's all hustle. Congratulations to Miser.
Yeah,
Yeah, well done, man. Well done.
that dude's
Yo,
still flipping. He's made half
that's
a million
so
dollars
cool.
off 130.
That's how it's done, boys. That's how it's done.
Congratulations.
But-
That's
Hi.
insane.
Yo.
Anyways, back on
Excellent.
track.
Yep.
Okay,
All right,
so
there's
okay.
Essence and EPLs. So would anybody like to explain exactly what EPLs are?
I think Stern should cover this.
Well,
Yeah,
hey,
Stern is the pro.
before we leave the subject of the resources, I want to say congratulations to Pick for your prediction was spot on. It was perfect. 7 days.
Yeah,
exactly.
if anybody doesn't realize, the first AMA that we did unfortunately didn't work out in terms of getting it recorded, and Peck made a prediction that it would come out in the next couple of weeks. So the rest of us all believed it was going to be months, And
Um,
Pic's,
And y'all
Pic's,
called me crazy.
yeah,
And
Pic
leading
got it.
from
Pic
that,
called it right.
he called it
leading from that,
100%.
I want to get another round of predictions because now we know that one lucky country is going to get resources before all like the whole E2 gets it. What are y'all's predictions? What country do you think it's going to be?
USA
I don't.
all the way.
No, I don't think it's going to be that obvious.
I think I'm calling Australia because that's where the E2 headquarters is. That's where everything originated from. So I'm thinking it's going to be Australia.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
Australia's a pretty good bet. Anything that's not Gibraltar.
I think Bangladesh.
Mm.
That's a bold.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can absolutely see it because there's a wide variety of resources. It's not that big. There's a ton of player interest from.
well, you know,
That's
in
just what
all
I'm
honesty,
hoping for.
whenever I read that, I sort of thought it might be a prelude to potentially opening up another country. I don't know whether anybody else thought that. I just thought that might be a sly way of saying that we're going to open up another country and that's where the resources are going to be for the first week.
I don't know,
It
because
could
if you
be.
look at the history of Earth 2, anytime they do something new, for example, opening up another country, the servers always crash, like
Yep.
instantaneously.
They did
So, I
say
don't
that they're
think
not going to
gonna
tell
do-
us about it though.
That's true, but at
And the
same time, I don't
last
think
one,
they're gonna release a new, like a whole new territory for people to buy in and release resources at the same time. I think that's gonna way overload the servers.
yeah, you could be right. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking too ambitiously.
Well, there's a second part to this announcement talking about React as a front end tool. I believe I'm not well versed in programming, even though I'm trying to learn and sucking at it. So if someone has a more technical background and they'd like to talk about the second section, that'd be awesome. If not, I think we can cover it in more detail later on once we see the actual effect of the implementation.
Did you want me to cover EPLs real quick, Gray?
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about EPLs and portals.
Okay. EPL stands for either Essence Portal Location or Earth Portal Location, and I believe they've confirmed it's Essence Portal Location at this point. But it's
Actually,
basically
they have it. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but they do have it in parentheses. It says Earth 2 property location.
okay, Earth 2 property location. So my video was actually spot on that I made like 2 months ago. But
Yeah.
it's basically going to be a URL for your property. So if you wanted to type in like earth2.io/Walmart, and you could have it as one of your properties. And then if you wanted to send people the link to your property, you could do that instead of having like, and I'm streaming right now, so you guys can't see this, hashtag property info /D4282E90. So instead of that, you can actually have a name for it.
Nice. That's gonna come in real handy later on. We gotta
Absolutely.
start claiming our names before they're taken, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering whether we're actually going to be able to change that name. Do you think we'll be able to change it on a regular basis, or do you think it's going to be once it's set forever?
Once
I think it's going to be yeah, sorry, go ahead, Pick.
I was gonna say it's basically a website URL. So once it's set, they're not gonna let people go in and change it because that would just cause chaos.
Yeah.
Or at
I-
least give it like a 1 week time limit, you know?
Yeah, but
I
they
think it's going to be more like every time you change it, it gets more expensive.
Oh, yeah, you might have to pay for it. That's a good point.
said people with 750s are gonna be able to name theirs before everybody else.
Yeah,
Here we
I was
go.
just thinking, for the future, whenever you sell your plot, what happens if the new owner doesn't want that name effectively?
True.
Yeah, they should absolutely be able to change it.
Alright, so we
it-
can't exactly go over React because nobody really knows anything about it. But the next one down in that announcement is blockchain, and I think Gray's gonna be really good at explaining this one.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm so excited for this. Yo, ever since what was it? We started messing around here around November, December. I think ever since January, I've been saying this whole thing has crypto written all over it, and finally seeing the devs post about blockchain, man, what a feeling. And so, specifically, the first sentence about the blockchain section says, developing a strategic blockchain plan and will be integrating on-chain assets into our core virtual metaverse experience. Now, metaverse wallet aside, on-chain assets. Have we not seen countless video games going from Decentraland to TLM, all of these kinds of projects? Yo, they're all running on NFTs basically, which is essentially an on-chain asset. I mean, it's pretty much the definition. So
Yeah. Our tiles
The-
are basically NFTs at this point.
It is the
that is
future.
absolutely true. Not to mention the developers have been pretty happy with the results of the current NFTs being put out by the community, specifically the E2 Hapner guys. Once again, congratulations on the massive success and the charity work y'all are doing. So continuing with the blockchain section, it says, we believe the upcoming decentralized components for Earth 2 will greatly enhance the overall benefits for our community by enabling the continued ownership and marketplace transaction in exciting Earth 2 digital assets, both centralized and on public blockchains. Yeah, so NFT marketplace, everybody.
An Earth 2 NFT marketplace.
Wow. And I'm sure there's going to be well, I don't know about minting functionalities, but it would be amazing if, say, for example, you could have a production line set up and pay to have your NFTs minted with Essence.
Yeah. Just like wax.
Exactly like wax.
Yeah, it's
Do you
gonna
guys
be
think that
gonna
we're
be
going to
good.
be able to implement our own cryptocurrencies or known cryptocurrencies out there into Earth 2?
Well, if they have a blockchain, I guess it depends on two things: whether the company is willing and whether the company is able. Because, for instance, if they were building something on the Binance Smart Chain and they wanted to switch over assets that are in ERC20, which is Ethereum, you would have a whole problem there trying to get things over through the bridges and whatnot. If this is going to be a proprietary blockchain, which I don't think so, but I would be really pleasantly surprised if it was.
Explain to us what proprietary blockchain is, Gray, for all of us that don't know, including myself.
Yeah, dude. So a proprietary blockchain would be like, for instance, Bitcoin has its own blockchain, Ethereum has its own blockchain, Binance has their own blockchain, and if Earth 2 decides to develop their own blockchain, well, people can build tokens off of that blockchain. They can build
In-game tokens, you mean? In-game currencies.
I mean, tokens in general. Like you could have Earth 2 coin and all this kind of stuff. The blockchain is basically like the operating system, if you will.
Yeah, the ledger.
And so
Okay.
the exciting part is, well, they could partner with someone and make this really big, because this is already available for use. People know how the system works, et cetera, et cetera. But if they decide to go the independent route and create their own blockchain for this, man, the sky is the limit.
Yeah, so in terms of the NFTs, do you think we'll be able to mint whenever we're built, or do you think it's going to be per tile? So say you build the Eiffel Tower and someone decides to mint that. Do you think that then there'll only be one Eiffel Tower?
It's exactly going in that direction, because I saw this thing about hollow buildings that
Okay.
Shane mentioned. And remember, very early on, one of the first things we thought NFTs could be used for here was making an NFT out of building plans. So, say you have a guild made of architects and designers, they can make NFTs on, like, hey, this is a standard ranch house, and you can buy the standard ranch house NFT. There's only, like, say 100 of them.
Yeah.
And just spawn it in game.
Same way the E2 trading card guys do it. There's only 200 of each card, so you're only going to have 200 of each that particular building.
Absolutely.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
It also keeps down the repetition.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm excited again. It's nice to actually be excited again.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's good, man. Yeah, well, what's everybody's thoughts on all these
Hmm.
people dumping their tiles and pulling out of the game? Do you think they're going to regret it now that they've just seen this new update, or do you think they're justified? What's everybody's thoughts?
Well,
I
if
think that
people are,
everyone has their own story when it comes to their own properties. I know a lot of people have gone in just to make a quick buck and get out. And by all means, like there's nothing wrong against that. But there's also people out there that have strictly gone for the 750 plot tiles and I've seen them sell out within the last week or two before this announcement came out. And
Yeah,
honestly, I think they're in the wrong. I think they're gonna really regret this later on down, the line, especially like a year from now, once this really kicks off. I think they're gonna be kicking themselves for that.
yeah,
I've had the
Yeah.
same strategy from the very start of this game, and it was throw your money in, don't expect to see any of it back. Once you get to a place where you feel confident to take your initial investment out, do it, and then just hold the rest and let it ride.
Mhm.
right on.
And that's what, like, I've been saying that since mid-December. And I think I talked you into doing it, Gray, and I think I talked Pick into doing it too.
Yep.
And I talked J Swizz
Yeah.
into doing it. And I'll tell you what, if you have no money on the line, it is such a best. It's like the best feeling because
Oh, 100%. I'm worth 40,000 right now, and actually 50,000 now, and it's all not even my money that's in there now. I already took out my initial investment plus 300, so I'm sitting
yeah.
fine.
I still haven't sold anything. I feel I'm going to regret it too much if I sell something so early. Like fair
Yeah,
play.
I have my
I'm not saying don't take your money out. It's everybody's choice to do what they want. But no, I'm keeping everything I've got.
yeah, I've got my initial investment. Well, I've got double my initial investment ready to come out, but I think I'm gonna just take my initial investment and reinvest the rest of it when a new country opens or something.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of leads into another question. Like, for example, the United States is currently worth like 50 some odd dollars per tile. It's just insane. And people are selling their properties in the marketplace for what, 20% what it's actually worth. So do you guys think that the properties will ever be worth the new land value?
Well, in all honesty, I think most of the people that are selling don't really understand what they invested into. You know, at the end of the day, we're not really even the intended players of the game. We're effectively the James Hallidays of the game because we've got to build this stuff once Shane, our own Halliday, I suppose. He once he builds the place, we've got to populate it. You know,
Absolutely
build the
true.
things for people to actually come. The real players are going to be the rest of the world that come in and actually use the games that we build, the buildings that we build.
Now, also
So
keep
you're
something
saying
in
that
mind.
our properties, so you're saying that our properties aren't actually going to be worth their real land value until we have something significant built on it?
Yeah, I think the true value of the land that we've got at the moment isn't even going to be seen until the phase 3, whenever everybody's built their own things and everybody's got people from the outside world, not just us, the initial investors, because that's what we are. We're trusting in Shane to bring us a platform that we can then, well, create, create a world from.
Yeah,
At
Yeah.
least Halliday, had to set up the competition and die. Shane has done that all for us. He's just decided to give us ownership of the world instead of having to set up a competition.
yeah, that's why it's
So
so important that they're talking about decentralization already, because that goes right along with what you're saying.
yeah, at the end of the day, we've got a. People don't realize how much of a responsibility everybody that's bought a tile has. You know
Hmm.
what? It's not purely an investment. It's not even a game yet for us. Whenever it becomes a game, we'll all have built everything for people to enjoy.
oh,
For the
the economic
so
simulation doesn't even start until resources drop.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it did say in the announcement that it's going to be 2025 before VR, and they plan to be a part of it. So that's sort of a secret hint at how long the game's going to take. So if you're not prepared to wait another 4 years, you know, I suppose it's probably best that you get out now because you're obviously not going to want to build something in a virtual land that's going to be ready in 5 years if you're expecting it to be done in 6 months. You know, it's a very impatient attitude. But each to their own at the end of the day. If you want to get rid of your tiles, I suppose there's a lot of people that didn't realize how big of a project it is.
Now, speaking about this, people selling tiles and all this thing going on. If people are selling, and they're selling 750s and all these prime properties, well, people are still out here buying, and that's crazy because we remember the last time we had a huge waiting time between an announcement from the devs. That was before the whole Easter egg thing. People weren't buying anything. The whole thing was frozen. It was a desert game. And then after Easter and all through this period, we've still seen a constant level of activity that has been increasing these past few days. Next week's AMA is going to be very interesting because we're going to have a whole lot more developments to talk about.
When do you think we're actually going to be able to use the resource calendar?
Well, going on to the resources tab here, it says.
Well, hold on. This is not a prediction. Maybe I should give a go at it.
Yeah, you should give a prediction.
Yeah, you go first, Peck.
All right. So you asked if we could. Or sorry, ask that one more time.
When do you think we'll be able to actually use the resources instead of just view the potential resources?
Oh, okay. I think we're going to be able to actually pick up the resources and have them be stored on our accounts probably 2 months from now.
Really? I was
And then
going
I
to say
think we're
1
gonna
month.
actually. Okay. And then I think we're gonna actually be able to like start collecting, harvesting, or whatever, all the resources probably during late phase 2. They're not gonna release that until maybe even phase 3, honestly.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, I think that's pretty close. I don't
Mainly
see it
because
being
Peck's
too
always
soon.
right.
Yeah. As far as
Darn.
actually
Just like
using the
that there real quick.
resources and building and doing all that, I think it's probably going to be late phase 2 or early phase 3 before we see anything like that. When do you guys think phase 2 is going to start? When do you think Essence is going to drop and all that?
That's a big question because originally
That's,
phase 2 was going to come around what, late February?
Yeah, they
I
said.
heard late January when they were still in December, and then I heard late February, early January, and it's only been increasing from there.
Mm-hmm.
What's everybody's thoughts on the new E2 card?
I think it's nice. I don't think it's something I'm going to use personally because I've not had any trouble with the bank. But I think it's a very good idea. Just
It says in
along with
the
their trend, empowering
says
more
in
of
the
the users.
yeah it says in the announcement that only people that are trying to withdraw can get one. So like I'm not planning on withdrawing any at any point really. So but I still want to have one of the actual physical cards. Do you think we'll be able to like buy a card or nice to
No.
have a
Should be
card?
Yeah,
available later on.
I don't think.
Yeah, and it said that there's going to be benefits to owning one if you do buy one.
You don't know
Yeah.
what that means. It's going to be the next Amex Black in a couple of years.
Yeah, well, you know, at some point in the future, like it's going to be a while, obviously, but there is at some point in the future going to be no more tiles left to buy. Like, think about that.
Did you guys see that it said the virtual cards are only the beginning? So there's going to be virtual MasterCards, and then there's going to be actual physical ones.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
the physical cards is what you're going to have to get the discounts and all that stuff, I think.
Mhm.
it says
all
that
the
you can
benefits.
use it says you can use the physical cards anywhere that you could use a MasterCard. So what does that mean? That if you have, you know, say £12 in your E2 account or, you know, 100 quid in your E2 account that isn't property, you know, it's actual money that you could spend on property. So, I mean, you can use that. Like, how does that work?
Yeah, like you could go to an ATM and withdraw from an ATM with your Mastercard.
That's crazy, isn't it? Pulling money out of a
Yeah.
virtual world to use in the real world.
Yeah, and I'm just calling it
That's
now.
it's gonna be awesome.
The people who get the virtual card, because it says you can use them on any e-commerce site, but there's already I can already tell you there's gonna be some people that have trouble cashing out. Then all of a sudden they get this virtual card and they can't use it physically in real life, and they're gonna be complaining because they didn't read the actual update. That's gonna be the next big
Yeah.
controversy.
Gents,
Yeah, I can
before
see
we
that.
run out of time, I'd like to get to the final comments on the announcement today. It's talking about some of the general updates, like the banners, which I've seen pretty much all you guys already have set up and running. It's talking about, bug fixes, all this stuff, and then it goes into the AR VR comment y'all was saying that the market will reach over $550 billion by 2025, with plans for Earth 2 to become a prominent platform on that specific market. So, do you guys feel that Earth 2 is going to go in a VR chat direction, in a, what was it called, Second Life direction, or do you think these updates and this resource planning is setting it up for something completely different?
I'm gonna predict it's going in a VR chat direction, but with PvP aspects, and really, I don't think there's a way to describe it other than Ready Player One. Like, you could. I'm assuming that they're gonna give you the option to make your tiles PvP or no PvP.
And I'm
And
going to go a step further. I think we're going to have the opportunity to actually build schools, and people that aren't able to go to education are going to be able to actually attend an online school with an actual teacher.
That's
I think
actually
it's good.
something I've thought about. Is just imagine like kids in the UK going to the same school as kids in the US.
Yeah,
And
no,
like,
it'd be mental, man.
yeah, it really would be world changing if it
Yeah, the
goes there.
possibilities
It would
are
become-
endless.
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
become more than a game at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
exactly. If they embrace the idea of the platform over the idea of the game.
yeah, that's
they
what I was
just
saying
mentioned it
earlier.
as such.
I really don't think people have grasped the opportunity that they've been given at the moment. Like Shane has given us the opportunity to build an actual world. A world where people on the other side of the globe can literally learn in a virtual school. So many possibilities.
Yeah, and
Oh yeah.
Alright.
the way I
Yeah.
always saw it is this is going to be like a actual world and not just a game, because games are limited to like updates and bug fixes. This is going to be like a blockchain platform to where you can add like VR chat and put video games on this platform, and people can go around the world and do pretty much everything with it.
Ready
So you're
Player
saying
One
it's
style.
basically gonna be like the game Roblox, where Roblox is a website where you can go on to, and there's countless maps and games and whatnot created by players. Are you saying it's gonna go somewhat in that direction?
Yes, they're not going to create just a game, because this project, like, if they were just going to do it to create a game, it wouldn't be this in depth. There's too many facets of this game or this platform to be just a single game.
On that
It
encouraging
is going to
note
be.
for the
It is going to be
future-
Earth 2.
Yeah.
We are literally building a second Earth. We've been given the opportunity to buy plots of land on the second Earth and create whatever we want.
So you guys
It's more.
truly
It's
do
going to be
think
more than a
that
game.
Earth 2 You guys truly do think that Earth 2 is gonna become the Oasis then, right?
Yeah,
Essentially.
personally. Yeah, like every time I watch Ready Player One, if anybody is listening to this and they haven't watched Ready Player One, just watch Ready Player One. It will give you so much of a better idea about how this whole thought process is going, because it's more than just a game.
Don't kill me. I gotta watch that too. But on the happy and optimistic note that we are leaving on, I would like to say, gentlemen, if you have any final announcements before we call the time limit for this AMA, any comments, any ideas, any predictions?
I think Peck's covered the predictions. We should all just follow in his lead.
Facts.
I think
Honestly,
about it.
nothing really coming from me. The only thing I'm really looking forward to seeing if it does happen is if we're going to be able to implement our own cryptocurrencies uh, into Earth 2. Honestly, I want to be able to see our own shops where you have to have that certain cryptocurrency to be able to buy items, and that way, whatever groups are out there, you could do certain tasks for that group to earn their currency to buy their items. I think that's gonna
That's an
uh,
interesting idea, man.
I like
I
that
think that's
idea.
gonna
Yeah, I
turn
like that.
around this whole game, honestly.
And something we do know is that they've said Essence is essentially going to be the currency in Earth 2. Do you see more people trading? You know, if you have a store, for example, do you think people are going to want to accept Essence, or do you think they're going to want to accept like gold for a payment, or do you think they'll have the option to accept gold for a payment? in
Well,
their store?
again, you're thinking about this purely from our point of view. We're the only people that are going to have gold. The actual players of the game, you know, the people that are just logging on to visit the world that we've created, aren't going to have gold because they don't own any tiles. They're just going to have essence, aren't they?
That's very true. I didn't really think about that.
You know,
I
again,
really do think it's going to be Essence is going to be the main currency for everything, and then a lot of items you're going to be able to buy with strictly Essence, and then you're going to be able to build with the actual buildable materials. Um, Maybe mix and match every so often with certain items, but the majority of everything will be with Essence.
yeah, I think if anybody's short of any resources, we're going to have to purchase them with essence.
Great.
My closing comment, if you guys aren't in the SHP Discord, I'll leave a link down in the YouTube description below. If you got any questions for us or anything, leave a question down in the comments or hop in the Discord. We've got plenty of people that are willing to help out anybody if you're new to this game, if you just don't understand something. That's originally what we started this community for, was just helping people. So hit us up, join SHP, and everybody's welcome here if you're a member of a different kingdom. If you're a member of a group that worships cats, everybody. So,
We're all inclusive.
yeah.
All right, ladies and
Okay, guys,
gentlemen,
well, it's been good speaking to you all again.
thank you so much, everybody, for showing up. Everybody for your comments, your insights, pick for your predictions in particular, and everybody at home listening in. Thank you for being part of this amazing community, and we hope to see you back for our next installment next week. We're sticking with 5 p.m. Central, right?
Yes, sir.
Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Central.
There'll be updates on our Discord if you want to join our Discord for any immediate updates on changes.
And with that, have an amazing week and weekend, everybody.
Take care.
See you later.